Yeah. Would anyone like to think of this question that remember one of your experience of speaking in public? Think of two words or short phrases that describe what you remember about it. The first time when all of you spoke in English in front of the public, it might be classroom, it might be some presentation that you had to make. So would you rate your public speaking in English? Are you all able to deliver well? Do you all speak confident to speak? All of you are in agricultural, in Krushi Vidyapit. So I understand that the subject with which you have specialized in, that is the area in which or about which you communicate in English. Now, my question is, are we all good at public speaking in English? Come on, I really would appreciate if you respond, because we are going to talk about communication. So I cannot be the only one who is going to talk. And as I said, to make this session more effective and important, it would be nice if all of us interact with each other. So would any other participant like to tell me something about your English? Do you feel confident to use English in public? Are you able to speak English without committing mistakes? Yes, would anyone like to say something?
Ma'am, they are communicating with you through chat box.
Okay. But they can unmute, isn't it? As I said, upon communication vishay boltoy. So I think it would be nice if you unmute and tell me. I can read what is there in the chat, but konala unmute karun sangayla avadel ka? As I said, it could be any language. You can speak either in English or in Marathi, but please feel free. We are talking about communication, so let us communicate. Yes, anyone? ज्यांनी चॅट बॉक्स मध्ये लिहिलं आहे, तुम्ही बोलू शकता का?
Students, please unmute yourself and chat with the madam. Speak.
Okay.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
I don't able to speak confidently.
Okay. May I know your name, sir, please?
Ramesh.
Yes. Okay. Ramesh, sir, you have written, I think, in the chat box also that I think you face problem with grammar. Is that so?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Ramesh, sir, please remember, and all the participants should also remember that the correct spelling, sir, is not the what you have written. It is not Grammer. It is Grammar. Okay. Is it clear, sir? The spelling of grammar?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So, yes, Ramesh, sir, I agree with you. And in this session, we will say something little about grammar, because one of the important aspects of communication is grammar. Ramesh, sir, can I ask you, which subject do you teach?
No, ma'am, I am a student.
You are a student. Okay. Which class?
He is a student, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. No problem. Are you a postgraduate student?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So, Ramesh, for how many hours in a day do you communicate in English? Do you get a chance to communicate in English? रोज तुम्ही साधारण 2 तास बोलता इंग्लिश मध्ये, 1 तास बोलता, किती वेळ बोलता?
Actually, I converse in Hindi.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Fine. Right. Thank you so much, Ramesh. Thank you for your participation. So fine. So Ramesh has said that he doesn't communicate much in English. It is only for about half an hour. Okay. Nilima ma'am, would you like to say something? You have written in the chat box, no, ma'am. So no for what? You don't communicate in English, or you don't have confidence in English? कुठल्याही भाषेत तुम्ही बोलू शकता माझ्याशी. निलिमा मॅम, निलिमा बारेकर, are you there? Okay. Fine. Now टेकिंग अ पॉइंट फ्रॉम व्हॉट रमेश सेड, ह्या प्रश्नाचं उत्तर कोणाला द्यायला आवडेल का? की समजा रमेश आहे किंवा अजून इथे काही विद्यार्थी असतील आणि तुम्हाला पब्लिकमध्ये पब्लिकच्या समोर इंग्लिशमध्ये समजा स्पीच द्यायचंय किंवा आतापर्यंत तुम्ही कधीतरी दिलेलं आहे, तर माझा प्रश्न आहे की तुमचा तो अनुभव कसा होता? तुम्हाला चांगल्या पद्धतीने कम्युनिकेट करता आलं? तुम्हाला कॉन्फिडन्स होता, कॉन्फिडन्स नव्हता? काय घडलं तिथे? कॅन एनीवन शेअर दिस एक्सपिरियन्स? Yes, do you get an opportunity to communicate in English in front of the public or you don't? Okay, I'll ask you a simple question. तुमच्यापैकी इंग्लिश बोलण्याचं किंवा चांगलं इंग्लिश आपल्याला येत नाही, आपल्याला ते सुधारायचं आहे, आपल्याला कॉन्फिडन्स वाढवायचा आहे, असं तुम्हाला वाटतं का? तुमचं इंग्लिश उत्कृष्ट आहे असं तुम्हाला वाटतं, ते चांगलंच आहे? कोणी सांगू शकेल या प्रश्नाचं उत्तर? यू कॅन स्पीक इन एनी लँग्वेज. आय अंडरस्टँड English, Marathi, Hindi, French, German, Sanskrit. You can speak absolutely in any language, but tell me something. Yes? तुम्ही कधी बोलला आहात इंग्लिश मध्ये पब्लिक समोर?
Yes, ma'am.
Kavya, how many participants are there roughly?
34 okay, ma'am. In front where I have talked, gave my presentation and all in front of nearly about 30 to 40 members, ma'am.
Okay. So how was your experience? Were you confident or were you a little afraid or what?
While opening my presentation, I was tensed in the beginning, but after continuing, I stopped watching people's expression, and later on, it's gone like, okay, I'm did, but inside me, I was like, I'm committing some mistakes, but I'm not expressing that on my face, but I know I have committed mistakes. So I wanted to improve that inner satisfaction too with my clear presentation and communication skills, ma'am.
Right. And what do you do, Kavya? Are you?
And I'm doing my MSc, ma'am.
All right. You are a student of MSc. Now, all your other friends,
Yes.
Kavya, who are here right now, do you think they are scared of using English and so they are not communicating right now? Or what is the reason?
Obviously, madam, I'm thinking the same thing, that maybe they are afraid of speaking English, or maybe because you are an English linguistic professional,
Okay.
that's why they are thinking that you may find some mistakes in there. That's why they are not opening themselves. I'm thinking so, ma'am.
Okay. Let me tell you, dear friends, I'm not a dangerous person at all. I'm teaching English, so my English has to be good, right? Now, tomorrow, I think some of your students or your faculty members at Agricultural University, now you know something about agriculture, which I don't know. And I know something about English language, which you don't know. So that's perfectly fine. आपण कोणीच एकदम परफेक्ट सगळ्या डिसिप्लिन्स मध्ये असणं शक्य नाही. आय विल रिपीट व्हॉट आय सेड, कारण आपण बोललो नाही, मला एक्झॅक्टली तुमचे प्रॉब्लेम्स समजले नाही, तर देन आय विल नॉट बी एबल टू मेक दिस सेशन युजफुल. मग असे खूप व्याख्यानं होतात की कोणीतरी आलं, त्यांनी काहीतरी सांगितलं आणि ते निघून गेले. बट आय थिंक वी हॅव टू मेक अन इम्पॅक्ट, वी हॅव टू चेंज, वी हॅव टू ट्रान्सफॉर्म आवरसेल्व्स. सो लेट अस ट्राय टू मेक मॅक्सिमम यूज. आणि तुम्हाला काव्या म्हटली तसं टेन्शन असेल किंवा थोडं स्ट्रेस असेल की माझं इंग्लिश खूप चांगलं नाहीये आणि मग ह्या मॅडम इंग्लिश शिकवतात, ह्यांच्या समोर नको बोलायला, आपल्या चुका होतील, तर आय वुड जस्ट से कीप दिस पॉइंट असाइड, जस्ट डोंट वरी, इट इज परफेक्टली ऑल राईट. मी जे माझ्या वर्गात माझ्या विद्यार्थ्यांना सांगते शिकवताना फर्ग्युसन मध्ये, आय विल से द सेम थिंग, दॅट नोबडी हॅज लर्न्ड एनिथिंग विदाउट मेकिंग मिस्टेक्स. Right? The first time we all learned to ride a bicycle, we have made a mistake. The first time I prepared tea, I'm sure it was not good. I have made a mistake. So we all learn, errors are a sign of learning. So please don't worry and please feel free. Okay. So I think moving ahead from this point, Okay, so maybe your situation for some of you, my question is, did you feel cool or calm when you communicate in English? Do you feel cool or calm, or do you feel stressed out? The, you're not telling me, but I now assume that for some of you, it is a matter of tension to communicate in English in front of the public. And for some of you, as you can see in the first picture, the person feels cool and calm and comfortable. Now, what all of us need to master, of course, is what is called as public speaking or communicating in English in front of the public. Now, what is public speaking or communicating well in English? It is the process of speaking to a group of people in a carefully thought out and structured manner in order to inform, influence, or entertain the audience. That when we communicate in English, for example, some of you are students of agriculture, and when you communicate in English, I would say that you are informing something about the field of agriculture, so you need to communicate. You also want to influence people. You want to change their way of thinking, and therefore we communicate with people. And also at some point of time, we want to entertain the audience. Now, there are different reasons, as I said, to why we communicate. Maybe because we want to inform and we want to do things, we want to present reports. Now, some of you, I believe, your faculty members, and we have students here. So sometimes we want to present annual reports and we will have to communicate in English. Sometimes we want to refer to the trends and new developments in our fields, and therefore we have to communicate in English. Also, we have to make different kinds of announcements for which we need to communicate in English. Again, with reference to the field of agriculture, maybe there is a launch of a new product or you've taken a patent and we want to talk about that in English. So these would be some of the aspects, or we often might refer to the market trends. So information and passing information is one important aspect of communication. The second important part is to influence or persuade people and ask them to do something. For example, if we want to convince people to do something, if we want to persuade the audience, we will again need English and we will have to communicate effectively. So persuading people is one important aspect. The third is that we use language and we have to communicate well. At times, this could be just to entertain the audience. There might be some informal occasions. There might be a function, just as Kavya introduced me right now. Maybe we have to introduce the chief guest, or we have to thank someone. We have to entertain the clients. There are certain important events in your college or in your university where we all need to communicate in English. So these are some of the reasons and probably some of the events where all of us will have to communicate in English. Now, I would say for all of us, remember, preparation is the key. Right now, if we are not using English because we are scared of the audience, we are scared of the language, that is okay. But I would say that unless we start preparing, unless we work hard towards it, we will not be able to communicate well in English. So I think as participants, as teachers, as students, let us all open that lock. Let us come out of our comfort zone. Do you understand what is comfort zone? For example, my mother tongue is Marathi. I would feel more convenient, comfortable, and confident while I use Marathi. English is not my first language. But then at some point of time in my life, I made it an attempt. I decided that I want to become better at the level of English. So I kind of opened that key, and then the doors of success open for us. So friends, remember that today, if we know Marathi, if we have been speaking and using Marathi language, that's perfect. That's really fine and nice. But at the same time, we need to master English, considering our career, considering our job, so that we are able to go ahead in life. And therefore, So I think I'll just quickly take you to some of the previous slides also, because you were not able to see. So we began with this question that when we communicate in English, how do we feel? Do we feel calm and cool, or do we feel stressed out? So obviously, all of us want to improve and we feel calm and cool when we communicate in English. Then I tried to tell you what is public speaking and what is effective communication. So we use it for the purpose of to inform, to influence, or to entertain. The third thing I said was that in our offices, wherever we work, we have to make announcements in English for talking about new developments. For example, if I am a teacher of agriculture and I'm teaching some subject related to it, let's imagine a situation that tomorrow I want to participate in a conference in USA. I will have to make my presentation in English, right? So all of us know Marathi, we respect the language, but at the same time, we need to improve our linguistic skills. At times, we also have to communicate in order to influence the people or take some action. And therefore, we need to use English. We can also talk about the importance of entertainment, and to provide entertainment also at times, we need to communicate in English. As I said, we might have to communicate on informal occasions in our office or at the place of work. So to do all this effectively, I was saying that the most important point is preparation. If we don't prepare enough, if we don't get enough exposure to English, we might not be able to do well. So friends, I was trying to say that let us open this key and let us communicate in English and start the process of communication. Now, it seems that so far, I don't know whether all students who are here or all teachers really, how much of English do you use? As Kavya said, कदाचित बाकीचे बोलत नाहीयेत कारण तुमचा विषय इंग्लिश आहे, त्यांचा नाहीये. But I would only say that to go ahead in life, friends, we have to have the desire, we have to have the motivation, and English is not a difficult language at all if we practice it. All right. So each one of us has to understand that in our careers as teachers and learners, it is important that we bring a transformation within ourselves. Transformation. Can someone give me another word for transformation? What is the meaning of the word transformation? कोणी सांगू शकेल ट्रान्सफॉर्मेशन म्हणजे काय? येस, कुणाला अर्थ माहिती आहे या शब्दाचा? ट्रान्सफॉर्मेशन म्हणजे काय? Okay, so transformation refers to a change that we are able to bring in ourselves. की आपण उत्तम कम्युनिकेशन करू शकलो तर we will be able to bring some change and some transformation in our personality. It is also important that we enjoy this process of transformation. If you look at the third point on the screen, the pleasure principle, की आज आपण सगळ्यांनी ठरवलं की आपलं इंग्लिश सुधारायचंय, आपलं कम्युनिकेशन स्किल सुधारायचंय, तर ती प्रोसेस आपण एन्जॉय करू शकलो पाहिजे, and that is also very important. Learning is a journey from known to unknown. We might not know something about the language, but to communicate well, we will have to make that journey from whatever we know to what we don't know about the language. Learning is a journey from dependence to independence. So I would say that in case your English is not so good, you are dependent on someone right now, it is okay, but try to become as independent as early as possible. The last sentence, friends, is very important for me. Learning is doing. If you really want to improve your English, you have to do something for that. You might have to listen to a lot of English. You have to communicate in English. You will have to write in English. You will have to read a lot in English. And unless we develop our contact with the language, I don't think it is possible for us to improve our English. Do you all agree with me? I hope so, right? That just by listening to a lecture or by listening to someone, we will not become effective communicators. You know, there are two very important statements in English. learn English in order to use it, and use English in order to learn it. Personally, I would say for me, the second part is very, very important. Use English in order to learn it. If we want to improve our English, there is no other way apart from using it. So the more we have the contact with the language, the more we use it, we will be able to develop it. Right? Do you all understand what I have said? Sir, just one question to you. Do you want me to communicate only in English in this session, or should I make it English and Marathi? What do you think? What is your suggestion?
Ma'am, this is a mixed group. Some of them may not understand the Marathi. So you can use English and Hindi. So Marathi people will understand Hindi as well. If you are comfortable in Hindi, then it will be better. Okay, I'm not very good at Hindi, but I can certainly try. Mera sawal yes. For short sentences, you can use Marathi as well. Okay. Like no, Hindi is won't be a problem. मैं ये कह रही थी कि जब तक हम पढ़ेंगे नहीं, in the sense that जब तक हम बात नहीं करेंगे इंग्लिश में, तब तक वो सुधरने वाला नहीं है. आप मुझसे सहमत है कि नहीं है? चलिए, अभी तो हम हिंदी में बात कर रहे हैं, अभी तो आप बात कर सकते हैं, आई एम श्योर.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, who is speaking? May I know your name, please?
Nilima, ma'am.
Nilima, ma'am. Okay, Nilima. Are you a student or a faculty member?
A student.
A student. नीलिमा, आप दिन में कितने घंटे बात करते हैं इंग्लिश में? क्या आप बात करते हैं इंग्लिश में, नीलिमा?
हाँ मैम, एक आध बार करते हैं.
एक आध बार मतलब 5 मिनट, 2 मिनट, 10 मिनट, कितने?
मोस्टली 10 मिनट
दिन में.
मैम.
आपको लगता है कि ये टाइम काफी है कि ये और बढ़ाना चाहिए?
बढ़ाना चाहिए.
बढ़ाना चाहिए, एग्जैक्टली. सो दिस इज द पॉइंट दैट आई वाज मेकिंग, कि जब तक हम भाषा का इस्तेमाल नहीं करेंगे, जब तक हम उसको बोलेंगे नहीं, तो शब्द आने वाले नहीं है. सो द मोर वी प्रैक्टिस, द मोर वी स्टार्ट यूजिंग, मैक्सिमम क्या होगा, हमारी गलती होगी, एंड दैट इज ओके, राइट. बट जब तक हम बात नहीं करेंगे, तब तक वो सुधरने वाला नहीं है. एंड what I want to say is that all of you are students and you are studying in a specific domain. अगर आपको लाइफ में बहुत आगे जाना है, मराठी तो हमारी भाषा है, हिंदी हमारी राष्ट्रभाषा है, हम उन लैंग्वेजेस को रिस्पेक्ट करते ही है, बट देन इमेजिन अ सिचुएशन कि आपको फॉरेन जाने का एक अपॉर्चुनिटी आती है, तो एज अ स्टूडेंट ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर वो हाथ से जाने नहीं चाहिए, इजंट इट, जस्ट बिकॉज वी डोंट नो इंग्लिश. तो मैं कहूंगी कि उसकी जो शुरुआत है वो अभी करनी है. अभी शुरुआत करेंगे तो गलतियां होंगी, सबकी होती है, but then don't think about the mistakes. I think about that wonderful day when all of you will feel absolutely confident to use English. इसलिए मैंने ये स्लाइड रखी है कि लर्निंग का मतलब ही चेंज है, लर्निंग का मतलब ही ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन है, हमें इंडिपेंडेंट बनना है, लेकिन ये सब होने के लिए हमें कुछ करना है. आगे जाने से पहले मैं आप सबको एक छोटी सी रियल लाइफ स्टोरी बताऊंगी, जो कि मेरे एक स्टूडेंट की स्टोरी है, and I hope that it operates as a motivational point for all of you to improve your English and improve your confidence and competency in English. Few years ago, I used to teach and we had a remedial course in English. I teach at Ferguson College in Pune. तो एक दिन वो एक ऑटो ड्राइवर वाले आ गए और उन्होंने मुझे कहा कि मैडम आप हमें आपका क्लास ज्वाइन करना है, जो कि एक कॉलेज की एक्टिविटी थी. So I was a little shocked and I said, why do you want to learn English? What is your qualification? He used to drive auto in Pune. His name was Preetam. And he told me, madam, I have just passed 8th standard. और मुझे इंग्लिश के 3 ही वर्ड्स आते हैं, लेफ्ट, राइट एंड स्ट्रेट, बिकॉज ही वाज ड्राइविंग ऑटो. तो आई वांट टू लर्न इंग्लिश. सो आई सेड ओके. और बाकी के जो बच्चे थे इस स्टूडेंट के साथ, वो सब ग्रेजुएट थे. The day Preetam joined this class, ordinary auto driver, just had completed his 8th standard, then he had to leave his education. जिस दिन प्रीतम ने ये क्लास ज्वाइन किया, उसी दिन उसने एक निर्धार किया, उसने तय किया कि आज से कोर्स 1.5 month का था, तो 1.5 महीने के लिए प्रीतम ने निर्धार किया कि अभी मैं मराठी में नहीं बोलने वाला, जो भी मुझे कहना है, इवन एट होम. इनफैक्ट हिज वाइफ वाज अ BA इन इकोनॉमिक्स एंड ही डिसाइडेड टू यूज ओनली इंग्लिश. वो पार्टिसिपेट किया उसने कोर्स में, कोर्स खत्म हुआ. नाउ कोर्स जब वो कर रहा था तो मैंने जैसे आपको बताया वो ऑटो चलाता था पूना में, तो वो रफली 15-20 हजार कमाता था, बच्चों को स्कूल में ड्रॉप करता था. फ्यू मंथ्स लेटर ये कोर्स खत्म हुआ. ही डेवलप्ड हिज कॉन्फिडेंस, नॉट दैट ही लर्नड एवरीथिंग अबाउट द लैंग्वेज, बट ही डेवलप्ड हिज कॉन्फिडेंस. कुछ दिन बाद प्रीतम के दिमाग में एक आइडिया आई. उसने सोचा कि अब तक तो मैं सिर्फ ऑटो चलाता था, लेकिन अभी मुझे इंग्लिश भी आती है थोड़ी बहुत, तो मैं टूरिस्ट गाइड का काम करना चाहता हूँ. एंड ही स्टार्टेड आल्सो वर्किंग एज अ टूरिस्ट गाइड, एंड ही स्टार्टेड टेकिंग पीपल टू डिफरेंट प्लेसेस इन पुणे and in his auto, and he would try to explain the people something about Pune University, Shaniwar Wada, the different parks in Pune and so on. ये करते करते अभी उसका मंथली जो कमाता था वो पहुंच गया 35-40,000 तक, क्योंकि ये एक एडिशनल जॉब वो करने लगा. स्टोरी डजंट एंड हियर. आपको खुशी होगी कि सम 2 years 2 साल पहले उसने मुझे फोन किया और कहा कि मैडम आपने मुझे पहचाना क्या, मैं अलग नंबर से बात कर रहा हूँ और मैं दुबई से बात कर रहा हूँ. तो मैंने सोचा अभी प्रीतम दुबई में कैसे चला गया. सो लास्ट 2-3 years ही वाज हियर. सो ही सेड कि जब मैं टूरिस्ट गाइड का काम कर रहा था पूना में, तो एक साहब आए थे एंड ही केम फ्रॉम दुबई, एंड ही आस्क्ड मी दैट वेदर आई वुड बी विलिंग टू गो एंड राइड हिज टैक्सी इन दुबई. तो अभी पूरे फैमिली के साथ प्रीतम दुबई में है. मंथली वो 1.5 लाख कमा रहा है. सो यू कैन सी हाउ इंग्लिश हैज चेंज्ड हिज लाइफ, राइट. आप सब लोगों के पास तो यू हैव एक्सेलेंट डिग्री, यू हैव एक्सेलेंट टीचर, यू आर एट अ गुड यूनिवर्सिटी, यू हैव द लाइब्रेरी फैसिलिटीज, यू हैव द इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर. कहने की बात इतनी है, आई थिंक वी हैव टू ऑल मेक द फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट to develop our communication skill and develop our knowledge towards it. So what it is to communicate well? For communicating in English well, I think these are the 4 areas on which we need to work. We need to develop our pronunciation, जैसे कि काव्या ने पहले कहा, enrich our word power. We have to know as many words as possible, क्योंकि जैसे शब्द संग्रह बढ़ता है तो हम उतना अच्छा बात कर पाएंगे. So it is very important to adopt the principle, use the right word at the right place. अगर मुझे शब्द मालूम है तो I will be able to use it at the right place. Enhance our grammatical competence. The third thing that we need is that we need to become better in grammar, and finally we need to express the meaning correctly. Just to give you some examples of how we can communicate well. जैसे कि पहला वर्ड है, कैन समवन रीड आउट दैट वर्ड फॉर मी. कोई पढ़ सकता है ये वर्ड्स जो स्क्रीन पे आपको दिखाई दे रहे हैं? कौन पढ़ना चाहेगा? चलो, अभी मैंने आपको वो स्टोरी भी बता दी ऑटो ड्राइवर की. उसने अगर इतना अच्छा तरक्की किया, ही हैज रीच्ड दैट लेवल, आई एम श्योर ऑल ऑफ यू कैन डू इट. कोई पढ़ना चाहेगा ये वर्ड्स?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Kavya.
College. Examination. 0. Immediately. File. Good morning. Good afternoon. And presentation.
Right. Now, Kavya, more or less, I think it was right what you pronounced. Thoda sa what we call a stress pattern. For example, the first word, you pronounce it as college. Please remember, it is not college, but it is college. College, if you want to use it in the right way. Some Indians, the words that begin with F, they say pile. Let us never, we cannot say that, right? It is file and not pile. It is fan and not pan. So it is important that our pronunciation is correct. Now, Kavya ne abhi jaise kaha, the way she said good morning, that is absolutely the correct way to say it. Most Indians utter that greeting as good morning. दो वर्ड्स है उसमें, गुड है और मॉर्निंग है, और बराबर तरीके से बोलने के लिए मॉर्निंग पे स्ट्रेस करना है. सो हाउ डू यू से इट? वी से गुड मॉर्निंग, गुड मॉर्निंग. We say, we are supposed to say good afternoon. Kavya, can you repeat after me the word good afternoon? Remember, it is not good afternoon, it is good afternoon. Can you say that again, Kavya?
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon.
करेक्ट. और थोड़ा नून को बढ़ाना है थोड़ा सा.
Good afternoon.
Correct. Good afternoon. Presentation, right? So what is important in language or in communication is presentation. Now these are some of the sentences, and I would say to communicate well, our tone, our intonation also has to be correct. काफी इंडियंस के बारे में ऐसे कहा जाता है कि वो पोलाइटनेस मार्कर्स इस्तेमाल करते हैं, लेकिन टोन ठीक नहीं रहता. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, लुक एट द फर्स्ट सेंटेंस. इफ आई रीड दिस सेंटेंस एज प्लीज शो मी योर होमवर्क, that is not a polite way to say it in English, right?
एवढं घाम आला ना, ह्याच्या खाली ठेवलं त्याच्यावरून बेडशीट टाकली, फक्त याच्यावर ठेवलं होतं, त्याच्यावरून हे टाकलंय झाकून.
I think somebody's microphone. Am I audible? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So first sentence में, if I use please, but if my tone is not correct, if I say please show me your work, that's not a good way to communicate in English. Now look at the way. मैं दो तरीके से ये sentence पढ़ूंगी. You tell me which is a better way to say it. The first one is please show me your homework. Second, please show me your homework. कौन सा सेंटेंस टोन में अच्छा लग रहा है आपको, पहला या दूसरा? Second one, obviously. So another very important part of communication is not just pronunciation of words, लेकिन tone, हमारा intonation भी correct होना चाहिए. And remember, with English, English is a very polite language, or it is one of the polite languages of the world, and therefore we have to be particular about it. So if we want to communicate well, pronunciation सुधारना है, तो क्या करना चाहिए? We need to be good listeners. We need to make use of a dictionary, and as I've said there, create opportunities. अभी I think नीलिमा ने आंसर दिया कि she uses English for 10 minutes. तो अगर हमें वो सुधारना है, उसमें बदलाव लाना है, तो I think we have to create opportunity. We have to communicate in English. ऐसे दोस्त बनाओ जिनका इंग्लिश हमसे ज्यादा अच्छा है, and they can help us, they can kind of prove to be a motivation for us, and we will be able to develop our English. I'll give you a break in 5 minutes. I'll just complete this slide. Another important aspect of communication is vocabulary. अगर हम बात ही नहीं करेंगे इंग्लिश में, तो इंग्लिश वर्ड्स याद में कैसे रहेंगे, right? So the more we play with words, the more we struggle with words. Watch TV, listen to radio, read newspaper, read books, and I think we have to make an attempt to remember words. For example, you see the second sentence there. My student told me that he dash an error. Can you tell me which verb will you use here? कौन सा क्रियापद आप डाल सकते हैं इसमें? Anyone can respond.
He make an error.
He made an error. Okay. Any other possibility? Okay. अगले sentence में, can someone tell me which verb will you use? Please dash this experiment in the laboratory. आप तो science background से आते होंगे, तो I'm sure.
Please do this experiment in the laboratory.
Okay. किसने जवाब दिया ये? नीलिमा, did you answer?
Deepika, ma'am.
Deepika. Okay. Yes, Deepika, thank you so much, first of all, for answering. Now, Deepika, please remember that English doesn't allow you to say, do this experiment. हम कह ही नहीं सकते. Do is a word in English, no doubt. ये एक English में शब्द है. लेकिन हमें बोलने के टाइम और या लिखने के टाइम we have to think of the company of words also. So please remember that in English it is necessary to say perform this experiment. Okay, we never do this experiment. अभी दीपिका ने क्यों कहा do this experiment? Because when we speak मराठी और हिंदी आपण बऱ्याच वेळेला म्हणतो मी एक्सपेरिमेंट करते, बरोबर आहे. मी लॅबोरेटरीत आहे आणि मी आता एक्सपेरिमेंट करतेय या मैं एक्सपेरिमेंट कर रही हूँ. हिंदी आणि मराठीत करणे हे क्रियापद आपण इथे वापरू शकतो एक्सपेरिमेंट बरोबर. But English or in English we cannot say to do an experiment. It has to be perform an experiment. Is it clear to you, Deepika?
Yes, ma'am.
The same thing with the first one. You don't do an error, you commit an error. So this is what I say, that it is very important to use the right word at the right place if we want to become efficient communicators or good communicators. So what you should do, learn to use words, struggle with words, guess the meaning of word. We can take English newspaper. We can try to guess the meaning of word, but the more contact we develop, we have with English language, I think we will have more and more of active vocabulary. We will start making use of those words in our communication. The third important part of language is grammar. For example, there's no time to look at all the sentences, but look at sentence number 2. I'm working in this department since 1990. Can someone tell me, is something wrong with this sentence or is it a right sentence? Sentence number 2. जैसे ये सेंटेंस लिखा है, आपको क्या लगता है, ये बराबर है या उसमें कुछ गलती है? आई एम वर्किंग, यस यस, प्लीज रिस्पॉन्ड. इज इट राइट और रॉन्ग?
Ma'am, I'm working in this department from 1990 since is the
दीपिका बात कर रही है.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Deepika. Now, please remember, you can never say in English from 1990. From is always used to connect 2 points of time in the past or in the future. I can say I stayed at Rahuri from 1990 to 1995. Or I can say I will visit Mumbai from 2015, or I will be staying in Mumbai from 2025 to 2030. Is it clear to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So there is no problem with since, but actually there is a problem with the verb am working. So can someone tell me what will be the correct sentence? Okay, the correct sentence will be I have been working in this department since 1990. We cannot use present continuous tense, am working. Since 1990, 1990 से अब तक मैं इस डिपार्टमेंट में काम कर रही हूँ. So the correct verb will be I have been working in this department since 1990. So grammar is a very important aspect of language, and again, to improve our grammar, we need to refer to the recent books. We need to practice. We need to see how people, the native speakers, जिनकी मातृभाषा ही इंग्लिश है, वो कैसे इंग्लिश में बात कर सकते हैं. और अभी तो हमारे पास साधन है. We have Discovery Channel, we have TV, we have YouTube, we have WhatsApp, we have mobile. तो जितना हम सुनेंगे, we will be able to communicate well. So as I always keep saying, I think listening is the pathway for effective speech. So the moral of what I have said is, to communicate well, we need to know our material. We have to get the hold of the audience कि हमारा कौन सुनने वाला है हमें. That is how we can prepare. Non-verbal communication, हमारे gestures, expressions, they also matter apart from language. I think it is very important to have a good eye contact. हमें अगर 100 लोगों के सामने बात करनी है, तो we need to look at everyone and speak, and that will be a confident speech. हमें practice करनी चाहिए. We can rehearse the points, we can write and prepare for it. We need to organize our speech very well to communicate well in English. We should concentrate on the message, the content, the message that we want to communicate. And I think we need to turn our nervousness into positive energy. जैसे मैंने आपको एक कहानी बताई ऑटो ड्राइवर की, तो उसके पास इंग्लिश बिल्कुल नहीं था, उसको कुछ नहीं आ रहा था एज फार एज इंग्लिश की बात है, लेकिन उसके पास क्या था, उसके पास डिजायर था, उसके पास डेडिकेशन था, उसके पास कमिटमेंट थी, and he was able to change that nervousness into positive energy. So I think it is important that you try to gain experiences, varied kind of experiences, create opportunities for you to use English so that you are able to enjoy your presentation. So the suggestion to conclude this particular session, I would say what we all have to learn is to keep calm, but we need to practice. It's over to you. It's up to you. The more you practice, the more you will be able to perform in life better. So I think just to put it together, दो बातें की हैं. एक तो linguistic है, language कैसे सुधारनी है. We have to develop our pronunciation, our vocabulary, our word power, our intonation. And दूसरी बात, we need to face the audience. We need to be calm. We need to have the right body language. And we need to basically practice all these areas that I have shown you on the screen. So, sir, shall we